So last time we were together, we were working on WeVideo. We're going to continue that today. And this is our agenda of things I want to get covered. The stuff that's in orange is the stuff we actually were able to do last week. Everything else we need to do today. Now, the good news is that everything else that's here is built into WeVideo. So there's no, it should be faster. We should be able to actually finish the project today. I'm going to show you what it is that you're actually making, because I think that's important. So share the video. So I'm going to show you where, well, you know, they say begin with the end in mind. So this is the thing you're actually building. This is one I made of myself. And the one thing about it is that I'm sitting in front of a green screen, so I have these backgrounds. So I actually dropped in a background for myself on this. You may or may not be able to do that. Actually not in WeVideo. I'll show you how to do that later. So just don't worry, just have whatever's behind you. Well, everything else though is what I'm asking you to do. Okay, so here we go. Hello, my name is Christopher Spittler, and I just love Universal monster pictures from the 1930s, 40s, 50s. I love Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy. Oh, I just love those crispy, crunchy old black and white movies. They're just my favorite of all time. I can't get enough. All right, so 30 seconds, and it basically shows all these different skills we're working on. I'm going to play it again, and I'm going to talk about what the pieces are that you're building here. Okay, so the first thing you're building are these credits, or the opening titles. These are your opening titles. I'll show you how to find those and make them say what you want them to say. Hello. Then this is the video clip that you recorded of yourself. And I just love Universal monster pictures. That's a caption with my name. You're going to do the same thing, put your name under your chin. I love Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy. Oh, I just love those crispy, crunchy old black and white movies. You're going to do an insert shot. My favorite of all time. Whatever you're talking about, you're going to show a picture or a video of it that's going to go over the top of you for a second or two. Okay, then at the end, you have your credits, your closing credits, which just say the end, right? So those are the pieces that we're working with. And then I'll show you how to tweak them. I'll show you how to do the fade in, the fade out, that kind of stuff as we go. If you have a question or a concern, I see here, how long is your video supposed to be? 30 seconds. You need about 30 seconds to get all these things in and have the time to make them do what you want them to do. All right, go ahead and open up your WeVideo and get to your dashboard and bring up the project. I'm going to bring up the one that that I had, and then I'll use that one to show you what we're doing. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to show you where all the parts are to my video on my project, and then I'll show you how you're going to put yours together. Okay. And WeVideo. All right. So this here is this is the setup that I had for my project. The only piece of media that I had to bring in that wasn't part of the WeVideo libraries was this this clip of me talking. So that's right here. Then over here on the left, you can see that I have 4 tracks. This one right here, you won't have. This is my background for the green screen. You won't have that. But here is my talent. That's my talent frame, or my talent track. That's the clip right there. Up here is a timeline, which means how long it runs in seconds. Actually, mine's a little over 30 seconds. It runs about 50. Okay, that's fine. My clip of myself is 30, but the stuff at the front and the back made it push out to about 45, looks like. That's okay. Right here, this right here represents the time that the titles are on, and it says titles right here. And if this little fellow right here, we drag it across, it shows us where we are on the timeline. So as I drag this across, and you hear the seconds up here, you can see that at about 5 seconds in, here comes my title. Down below, this is my music. So, and this blue line represents the volume. So it comes in at full volume, then it fades to a very low volume while I talk, and then it comes up and gets louder at the end, and then it fades out one more time. So right now the titles are playing. So I drag across, the music is playing. When it gets to about the 12-second mark or so, the credits go away, the titles go away, the music begins to fade, and I come in and I talk. Then right here, this is Mr. Spittler. That's another title. It's a caption, but I'm still going to put it right on the title track since I have room for it. I don't need to create an extra track for that because I have space for it right there. It comes up under my chin while I talk. And at this point in time, we can see we have the titles, we have me, we have the background, we have the music all at the same time, happening at the same time on the timeline. At about the, looks like 27-second mark, I fade in my last clip. That's up here called the insert. That's the insert shot. I found this in the WeVideo library. I played around with it and with the color and stuff to make it look more black and white. But now I have this monster going. During the time the monster is going, the titles under my chin end. So they won't be there when we come back. But you can't see it because it's all covered up by this clip. By the way, when you look at the timeline, you can kind of think of this like, you think of it in layers, and you're looking from the top down, right? So if I'm looking down this way, if this thing fills the whole screen, then it covers everything underneath it. Okay, so now I keep going. When I come back at the end of that clip, boom, you'll notice that the titles are not under my chin anymore because that ended. Okay, that's gone now. So it's just me, that background, the music, which continues. Music is now fading up. I am fading out. And here come that last bit with the music and the final end credits. They end and the music fades out. Okay, just think of it linearly, right? So from left to right is how long it lasts in time. From top to bottom is what you see. And remember that what you see on top, you're looking down, so whatever's on top is going to cover anything below it. Unless if the thing on top is smaller than the screen, then you'll see it laid on top of other things. This is how you can put a picture on top of another piece of video. Just make it small enough, it doesn't cover the whole thing underneath it. Okay, cool. So let's start building your pieces, okay? So go ahead and open up your project. If you haven't done so, go find your JMA hello. I am going to quickly just make a new one. Okay, so let's start first with your titles. Okay, now you're gonna have a lot of time to go back and tweak this. You can actually, once you put something on the timeline, you can put it there and just kind of temporarily put it there, and then you can edit it and change it. You can make it longer, shorter. You can change what it looks like. You have a lot of flexibility, but let's just lay out the parts of your video now. So the first thing we're gonna see, we know, are your titles. So go up here to the A, that's your text. Okay, and actually I'm gonna pull this over just a little bit so you guys can see. Yeah, if you pull this over, if you don't have your window filling and all of these labels disappear. So I want to put them up there so you can see them. So text is right there. So now just go through, you have different kinds of titles. You have the motion titles here. These are ones that actually move. They might do simple things like simply kind of roll in or fade in, that sort of thing. And some of them are super complex. They build squares, they do all sorts of stuff, okay? I'll just use the one that I did, but you can use any one you want. I grabbed Bada Boom, okay? Now over here, we should have our 3 tracks, music. This should be talent. And this should be titles. So onto my titles track, I will drag Bada Bing. and I will make sure that it starts about 5 seconds in. I'm not going to put it right up to the edge because that will give me no black at the beginning. I want a little bit of black at the beginning. So I'm going to start at about 3 to 5 seconds in. Okay, so go ahead and drag down whatever title you want. If you want to drag Bada Bing for now, go ahead and do it. Once you've done that, you can double click on it, and now it takes you into the editing of this title. Okay, up here you can change the colors, right? So I did that when I did it before. I changed it. I made it green on top, I think, and purple down below. You can do whatever you want, and then you can change what it says, and what it should say is your name at the top. I don't know how to spell my name. And then underneath, okay, that's your title. Your name says hello. Now, if you want to go deeper into editing this, you can change the font if you want. Okay, you have that kind of access here, and you can also, if you want, you can change the size. But to change the size, you have to go from auto, click manual. Okay, and now you can actually increase the size. The one problem with increasing the size, especially in these kinds of built titles, is they're already pre-spaced and you can't do anything about that. So if you build them, you try to make them too big, they may start to cancel each other out. So as you can see, it's already happening. The H and the P are colliding with each other. So feel free to experiment, but just be aware that you do have those restrictions. Okay. And then nothing saves unless you click Save Changes. Also, just so you know, when you're in here, when you're in Edit, you can actually move it around. If you see the little handles, that means you can move it around. And in this little menu over here, so this is what it says. That's changing the lettering itself. And this is actually, you can do other things with it, like flip it. You can make it bigger or smaller. That's the scale. Okay, you can, again, you can move it here for its opening position. So you have that flexibility. You have these two different menus when you're editing the text. So just go ahead and get your name in. Don't worry about it if it's not perfect yet. You're just roughing it out. So just in the first box over here, put your name. In the second box says hello, and then just save your changes. You're going to take the time later to adjust your timings and do all that stuff you want to do. Okay. Now, one thing you can, with titles, it's nice. You can't do this with everything, but with titles and still images, you can make them last as long as you want them to. You can't do that with video, because videos, if you shoot a piece of video, it's only so long. You can make it shorter, but you can chop off pieces of it, but you can't make it longer unless you actually slow it down like slow motion, which we're not going to do right now. But with titles, you can actually make them last longer. So right now, when I look at this, it lasts from 3 seconds to 8 seconds, so it's about 5 seconds long. But I could grab the end of it and pull it out to here, and now it lasts longer. So it'll come in about at the same speed roughly, but it will stay on screen longer before it actually leaves. Okay, so when you're working with this, and I made mine last kind of long because I wanted it to match up with the music. So my credits lasted a little longer. Okay, and then it'll go away at the end of its time. And this one just kind of goes up and vanishes. So that's why I did that. All right, now everybody has their titles down. So now go click My Media, Project Media, and you should see that clip of you. Pull the clip of you, you're the talent, and put that right down on the timeline. And be sure that it starts after your credits end. All right, so, and oh yeah, to help you out over here on this, next to the plus, there's this little blue box. If it's not clicked, click it. So make it blue. And what that'll do is that'll actually snap your clip right where it needs to go. So it snaps it, and you don't have that rough thing. Okay, so now here's you talking. All right, now at the end, we need to have our final credits. The easiest way to do that is just use the same, for now, just use the same piece of text, the same style of text. Click it so it's got an orange highlight around it. Control C to copy it. Drag over here to the end of your clip. Control V and paste the new copy. Now, of course, you could have different credits at the end if you want, but for consistency and elegance, usually you'll want your opening credits to kind of match your closing, depending on the kind of thing you're doing. It'll feel strange if it has too many different things going on. It's like when you make your PowerPoint decks. You don't want to use 17 font styles and 17 different transitions. It just becomes all about font styles and transitions and not about the actual piece of work you're doing here. We don't want your technique to interfere with your content. Okay, so now double click that and it should say the end, right? So go ahead and type in the end and save it. So now you have your opening titles, the clip of you, and your closing credits. Okay, you got those set. All right, so now we also know, as long as we're doing titles, that we're supposed to have our name on the screen, okay? Now, one thing I did, because I was using the green screen, is that I actually went in, so I highlight my clip, I go to the upper left and I click on the pencil, which is the editing tool, and I wanted to make sure that my green screen filled the whole background. So I just grabbed the scale and I just pushed in until it was all green. You won't really have to do that, but you can if you want to get closer in on your face. Okay. Now, text again is where we're going to find the titles. We're going to put it on the same title track. We don't need to build a new track. We have the space right here for it. Okay. And I just clicked a simple one. I clicked above the horizon, so it would just come up from the bottom and then vanish. I drag that down. I put it up fairly early. Go ahead and you could just choose the same one and then you can adjust it. Now, it's going across my face. That's a problem. So I double click on it to get into the editing. I'm on the scale and the position and scale menu, and I just grab it and drag it down so it's underneath me. Then I go to the bubble and change what it says. And because I had kind of a color theme going with my my titles and credits, I decided I would continue that here. I made it green. And I put it under my chin and I save it. Boom. All right. Now, the next thing I'm supposed to have is an insert shot. I'm supposed to have, so whatever you guys said you like, I like turtles, I like apple pie, I like going surfing, whatever. You're going to need to find either a still image or a clip of video from the WeVideo library that illustrates that idea. Okay, so that means you're going to need a new track. You don't have space for that here, and it needs to go on top of all the other tracks. So go over here and click the plus. It's going to be a video track, so click video, and then just name it insert. An insert shot is any shot that kind of lays on top of your talent or is inserted that doesn't show a human face. We call that an insert shot. So, and we'll talk more about that when we get into making our shot sizes video. But now we have a place to put the insert shot. You're going to go to your media, you go to stock media, and type in a keyword over here. You have all, so it looks for everything, or you can look at just videos or just still images or just audio. It's easier the first round probably to just go to all and type in a keyword. I typed in monster and I got the clip right here. Remember, you can go through and do a little kind of survey. You can click the heart to put things into your favorites pile. Then go back and look at it, and if you're having trouble deciding, right? But I found this one; it was pretty cool. So I just grab it and I put it on my insert line. And now, as we can see, looking at our timeline, we see here I have credits. I have titles under my chin, the caption, and I got me talking. And
30s, 40s,
as it
50s.
goes along,
I love Frankenstein, Dracula,
as soon
the
as
Wolfman, the Mummy. Oh,
suddenly this monster pops up on top. Okay. So I actually took it. I started it a little bit earlier. I wanted it to start right about the time I was saying I love the monsters.
I love.
That's about where I had it come in, so that I could have the
40s, 50s. I love Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy.
What I was saying.
Oh, I just love those crispy, crunchy old black and white movies. They're just my favorite of all time.
Now, I didn't want it to run too long. That I wanted to end right there. So I've got it highlighted, and I have my my indicator here right where I want it to end. So I can just go up here as long as it's highlighted. I go up here and I click the scissors, and it chops. I highlight the piece I want to get rid of, and I delete it. And now it'll cut off right where I want it to cut off.
Old black and white movies. They're just my favorite of all time. I can't get enough.
Okay, actually, I think I had myself come in on the blue, so I went a little too far.
I can't get enough.
That's where I actually cut it. So then I popped in on the blue.
They're just my favorite of all time. I can't get enough.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna right now just find any picture or any shot and drop it in there just so you've done it. You can always go back and change it. Okay. Nothing's permanent until you save it. Just to note what I did to get those effects, because it wasn't full color in mine, is I went up here, I edited it, and I went into the color menu, and the first thing I did was I took all of the color out, so I desaturated it. Okay, and then I played with the temperature and the tint. So I got that to come up, and then I was able to pull the temperature over to get kind of a green color, and then I saved it. So that gave it a black and white, old black and white kind of look that made it feel like an old film, because this is not from an old movie. This is something done recently. Last thing is music down here at the bottom, your music on the bottom. So again, go to your stock media. This time, go to audio, and then you want to put a keyword in that kind of, in this case, I would choose an emotional word, a descriptive word. So I put in creepy for myself. I wanted some kind of creepy music, and I got a whole bunch, and I honestly don't remember which one it was. It was cute. I think it was this one. Yeah, if you click them, they'll play for you so you can hear them. It was the one I used to call Haunted. Okay, so I grab that, and I just drag it down and drop it on my audio line. Please note, you can't put an audio track on a video track. It's red. It's telling you I don't belong there. If it's green, it can go there. By the same token, you can't take a video track and put it on the audio. So you'll never get those mixed up. Okay. And you can cut and edit and shape the audio the same way you can the video. You can clip it and cut it and all that. The last thing I'll show you is how to do fades. So if you're in this with music, it automatically shows you this blue line, which indicates volume. If it's at the top, that means it's full volume. If you would like to have the volume dip or drop, simply put a new point on the line here and a second point. So this is the beginning of your fade. This is the end of your fade. And then you can drag it to the volume level you'd like it to be at. And then, of course, if you want it to fade back up again, add that dot and another dot to bring it back up. Fade it out at the end. Do the same thing. You also have on your audio clip, if you go to the click on the little speaker there, it has a fade in, fade out feature that you can give it. So you can tell it you'd like it to fade and where you'd like it to fade. But I find it's just as, with audio, it's just as easy just to do it yourself on the actual timeline. So if I want it to fade in, I'll add a little point here and create its shape. And now when I play it, we'll hear it fade in then when it gets to here, it's going to fade out slowly.
Hello, my name is Christopher Spittler.
Now, I would need to go in here and clip out this dead stuff. I won't do that now, but that's part of the trimming that you'll do. So on this clip, I kind of stare at the camera for a few seconds before I speak, and I don't want that. So right about the time I lift my eyebrows is where I want the clip to start. So I would set it, make sure whatever you clip is highlighted. If you don't highlight the clip you want to edit, when you hit the scissors, it'll cut everything on your timeline all at once, which isn't the end of the world, and you can always Control Z and take it back. But if I want to get rid of that little bit, I can clip and say, all right, I want to get rid of that piece so that it starts more on time. That's the kind of trimming you'll need to do on your clips. Oh, one last thing to show you, and it's just like audio, but if you want to fade your video in or out, and that you can do the same thing on credits, although the motion credits are already designed to kind of do what they do. They don't really need to fade in or fade out. But still images, video, you're definitely going to want to think about fading in and fading out. So when you do that, if you click on that, this little fellow right here is actually the fade tool. And you can tell it, all right, I want this thing to fade in, and I want the fade to last 1 second, and oops, 1 second. And I want the fade out to last 1 second. Now, you can do fractions of seconds. It goes down to like a quarter second fade or fade out if you want it to be pretty quick. And you'll notice that what it does automatically, it now puts in this green line. And this green line is just like the blue line for audio volume. The green line is for visibility. So if it's all the way down at the bottom, you can't see it. You can see right through it. It's invisible. As it comes up to the top, it becomes more and more visible. It fades into full opacity, which means it's totally opaque, okay? So you can actually do a thing where if you have two tracks over each other and you put them at half opacity, you can see one through the other. You can do that thing where you have two images over each other when you're getting artistic. So you have ability to adjust how much you can see or not see through the layers. So that's how you do the fades in, fades out, okay? And you can do the same thing, with this if you'd like. I had mine just pop in and pop out, but you could fade them in and fade them out if you like. All right, so basic rules. Now the last thing to do is to finish your video. Okay, you don't have to do this now because you're not done, but I will show you how it's done. You click finish. You give it the new title. It's just for some reason it's really annoying. It will not transfer your title, and I guess that's so that if you don't get confused, I suppose you give a different title, but I still want the same title. So you'd put JMA hello and your initials and last name. It's going to set there. You can choose the thumbnail you like, and then you want to make sure that the title is as you like it. Make sure you're exporting it as a video. Export it in high def. Okay. And you do not have these options down here. I do. You don't. You have these right here. So once you've done that, you just click export. And a screen will come up and it'll say, okay, we're working on your video. It's going to take X amount of time. You don't have to leave the window open. You can close the window and go off to your life. When it's done, it will send you an email. And the email will have the video. And down in the corner, it will have a little Google Classroom emblem. Over here, you have this. Once you get this, you can actually open up your Google Classroom and you can put it where you want it to go. You can send it to Google Classroom and it'll say, where do you want it to go? Pick journalism, and I'll make a special drop there that says, put your videos here, and you can drop your video there. So your job is to take this video now to completion, tinker with it, have fun with the music choices and see if you can get your timings to line up. You guys are perfectionists, do your very best, but at least make sure that all the pieces are there in the correct order. Even if it's not perfect, you're just demonstrating that you understand how to use all these tools and how to lay out a basic video. So yes, I'm going to give some points for creativity and artistic ability, but primarily what I'm interested in is you demonstrating that you understand how to use all the tools. Don't import music this time, okay? For now, or video or audio, just use what's in WeVideo, okay? And then we'll talk about importing and stuff later because I'd like to show everybody how that's done. All right. But for now, just show me you understand the WeVideo tool as it is. Okay. That's why I didn't import a clip either. I didn't want to confuse you guys. So I think I've said everything I need to say. Remember, any struggles, come and talk to me in, well, first thing, check for the video. If you're struggling, first check the video. Okay, the tutorial should go up each day after class. Then from there, if you're still struggling, then come see me in office hours so I can help you. Okay, you can see me anytime, any office hour, Thursday, Friday, Monday, or Tuesday. Any one of those is fine. You don't have to come right on Thursday. You can come whenever it works for you. Okay, because I know you have other stuff going on. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. We're 5 minutes over. So nice seeing y'all. Have a great day. Have fun with your projects. Take it easy.